The Children's Era by Margaret Sanger. We have not done much to create the century of the child, already 25 years in. Why has so little been accomplished? Despite our love of children, the life of a child is not as it should be. Children are like a garden we have failed to cultivate properly. Before you can cultivate a garden, you must know something about gardening. You've got to give your seeds proper soil, sunlight and fresh air, space and the opportunity, and fight weeds. The children are the plants, but also the weeds. There are too many of them to take proper care of. It is not merely enough to take care of their physical needs. There are simply too many children. This is a waste of motherhood and a child life. Our efforts, orphanages, playgrounds, public schools, charities, are not enough, and we should not deceive ourselves that we are making the world safe for children. The first step towards the children's era must be in providing healthy life for all children, even before conception. The mother should be a chemically healthy medium. No worries, strain, shock, unhappiness, or enforced maternity. Most in jails and asylums were victims of being born into an unhealthy family. Women need to be able to decide when they will have a baby and how many. Sanger suggests the civil service examinations for parenthood, where the adults would be required to obtain a parenting license to have children. But who is to decide who a fit parent would be? Then this might cause bootlegging of babies. This is, however, not very advisable. The two people most involved should decide, the mother and the child. Picture the possibilities of the child checking out their parents before allowing themselves to be born. You would do it for a housekeeper. The child would ask, "Mr. Father, a baby is an expensive luxury. Can you really afford one? Have you paid for your last baby yet? How many children do you have already? 6? You must have your hands full. Can you take care of so many? Do you look upon children as a reward or a penalty? Can you provide a happy home for one? A sunny nursery? Proper food?" What's that you say? 10 children already? 2 dark rooms in the slums? No, thank you. I don't care to be born at all, if I cannot be well born. Goodbye. Every child would be welcome, invited, wanted, and born with a clean bill of health. The conditions that would preclude parenthood include transmissible disease, temporary disease, subnormal children already in the family, space out between births, 23 years as a minimum age for parents, economic circumstances adequate, and spiritual harmony between parents. She concludes by stating that we are not trying to establish a dictatorship over parents. We want to free women from enslavery and unwilling motherhood. We are fighting for the emancipation of mothers of the world, of the children of the world, and the children to be. Margaret Sanger was born on September 14, 1879, in Corning, New York. In 1910, she moved to Greenwich Village and started a publication promoting a woman's right to birth control, a term that she coined. Obscenity laws forced her to flee the country until 1915. In 1916, she opened her first birth control clinic in the United States. For all of her advocacy work, Sanger was not without controversy. She has been criticized for her association with eugenics, a branch of science that seeks to improve the human species through selective mating. She believed that women wanted their children to be free of poverty and disease, that women were natural eugenists, and that birth control, which could limit the number of children and improve their quality of life, was the way to accomplish this. Still, Sanger held some views that were common at the time, but now seem abhorrent, including support of sterilization for the mentally ill and the mentally impaired. This speech was given in 1925 as a means of trying to persuade Americans on the morality of birth control. She spread the mindset of birth control being not only okay, but a moral obligation to a society built for children. The mindset has spread to today, where most people don't even think twice about using birth control, only which version. Sanger lived to see an important reproductive rights milestone in 1965 when the Supreme Court made birth control legal for married couples in its decision on Griswold v. Connecticut. She worked on the birth control issue in other countries in Europe and Asia, and she recruited Gregory Pincus, a human reproductive expert, to work on the problem in the early 1950s. This research project would yield the first oral contraceptive, Enovid, which was approved by the Food and Drug Administration in 1960. She also established the International Planned Parenthood Federation in 1952.